All right. So in our environment, what might we see as our most common issues? Well, first off, our client or OS configuration. That can be a big deal in our environment. We have to make sure that our wireless LAN controllers, our APs, everything is configured correctly. Now, if you remember, we had a way to check to see if those were absolutely configured correctly. Can anyone remember what that was? I'll jump back to that slide. It's right here. Ha! The wireless LAN controller configuration analyzer is what we use to make sure, absolutely make sure, that we are not seeing our common wireless issue of a configuration problem. So make sure to use that to your benefit. Also, whenever you see a problem that's not antenna or something else related, check your configuration. Make sure it looks good. Now, AP connectivity, when you're having a problem with connectivity, this is often due to antennas or something to do with your radio frequency or your signal to noise ratio. I've had issues where wireless completely drops because an old microwave is in the area. When somebody turns on the microwave, so much radiation is leaking out, it actually drops the AP. When we talk about wireless connectivity, I would say the vast majority of issues I see with that configuration is AP and signal related. Either they are overloading the AP, too many people attempting to use a single AP and not enough overlapping coverage, or there's some type of interference in place. I've even seen an AP that they placed in a cage, a metal cage, in a gym to protect it from getting hit by balls. The problem is what they basically created was a Faraday cage, and all the wireless could not escape the nice, beautiful cage used to protect the piece of equipment from getting hurt. Another thing you might want to check in AP connectivity is the power. Are you using clean power? Now, if you are using power over Ethernet, remember there's two types. There's the 15 watt and then the 30 watt. You got to make sure to understand which one you're using if you have enough power to power your AP. That's been an issue I've seen in the past as well. Do they have the ability to discover the APs? Is the AP hidden? Are you hiding the SSIDs? Do they have the right information to join? Another thing that could be an issue is time skew. If the time does not match between the client and the AP itself, the authentication will time out and there will not be any connectivity. So those are what we majority see. This is what I saw most of the time in my career. The OS configuration and the wireless LAN parameters, they can be an issue too. If your wireless LAN is mapped to the wrong VLAN, the data is not going to go to the right place. So make sure that configuration is correct. And last but not least, make sure your infrastructure is up to snuff. Your wired backbone, how does that look? How does that compare? How does that perform? Does it perform well enough to supply everybody with the wireless access that you've tried to provision? Also, your infrastructure, your building, your site surveys. Do we have enough signal to get to the right place? How was this infrastructure laid out? So lots of things to look at when we're troubleshooting. Where do I start here? If I have a client saying that they cannot connect, a single client or multiple clients in a particular area, I start here at the antenna. Let me erase everything. So if I say, oh, people in building 7, room 5 cannot connect, I start here. If I hear an entire building is down, I start here. If I hear constant complaints, this area isn't good, I start looking here. And if entire groups of people, let's say I'm in a college, the teachers use one wireless LAN, the students use another. If all the students are down, this is the first place I look. So depending on the scenario, changes how I look at these in the real world.